Tip my tongue.
Chat, can you tell us what that means?
Please don't do this to them. All right, we have our map veto system up for you. Where are we going to go? Today has been brought to you by the letter C, Coastline, Clubhouse, and Consulate. Where are we going to go here? Clubhouse is out. We're going to go to Villa. So no more C words, chat. No more.
C words. Wash. Parker, you can't say that.
C word? Like Consulate? That's a C word.
Okay.
Crutch? That's Twitch's name.
Oh! Burn.
Or
Sick burn, Parker.
Or Legion's name as well.
There's a lot of operators.
We're not going to...
Not going to do it?
Not going to do it.
All right. We won't go down that rabbit hole.
Just wanted to say.
But yeah, no. Sick burn. Well done.
Thank you.
We're going to Villa, so that'll be
Italian
interesting
countryside.
how that plays. Yes, you always like to say.
It's gorgeous.
I
have not been to the
is,
Italian
actually.
countryside. I flew over the Italian countryside. It looked very nice from a plane.
I did a little bit of the Italian countryside after the land of Milan.
Yep.
And it was definitely worth it. I would highly recommend if you are near Italy, you do a little cruise around the Italian countryside, maybe take some trains. It's nice. They've got a nice train system there, like a really intricate coverage of the
Team Liquid is exceedingly popular. Are they going to win the popular vote here? This might as well be a popular vote. That, holy smokes.
They sure smoked MIBR. Haha. I'm not as good at jokes as he is, but I try.
It's true, he's not.
I try. I put in my effort.
He tries really hard.
And this poll is also kind of one of those. I don't know. This is sure, yeah, okay. Liquid's the favored team here.
How baggy the shirt is, by the way. This.
It's because you lost a bunch of weight.
It's not even that. It's not even.
He lost like 600 pounds.
Okay, I'm not as big as Fabian.
Oh, what is with these burns? I did set you up for that one.
I lost like 15 pounds, but it's not even that. It's really long, so it like kind of like.
Mine has the same thing. I usually when I'm sitting down, I actually fold it on the chest because you guys can't see it.
Oh, it's like a cummerbund.
But I like fold it at the bottom.
Smart. Should we fold her?
That way it doesn't bunch up as much.
Fold our shirts here.
I have the same thing with my shirts. My shirts are all too long for me because my torso is short, so I have to undo 2 buttons at the bottom.
This is your torso that's short.
Otherwise, yeah, no, specifically my torso. My legs are like normal size, and my torso is short, which is why I'm a short person.
I have a very short torso as well.
Yeah, just like an oddly short torso.
Yeah, it's like I'm like an anime character. I'm like 90% legs.
And then I have really short arms, so I always have to fold up my sleeves.
Is this thing on?
Because my shoulders are abnormally broad.
Speaking of
I have
on,
to get shirt sizes that are bigger.
Speaking of on, we got a game on right now for you. Game on, final matchup of the day. The Italian countryside. I don't know if you know that. That's where Villa is, by the way.
It is in Italy, by the way.
It's in the Italian countryside.
Did you know it's in Italy?
Team Liquid versus MIBR.
They play video game. Go!
They game good.
MIBR going to be on defense first, Liquid on attack, which means, of course, that we will have MIBR banning first. And they will get rid of Mav. Mav's not in this match, but he's gone now from play.
Goodbye, Mav.
Liquid, who are you going to get rid of on attack? Oh, boy, this is going to be... Parker, as we like to say, this is going to be one of those.
Oh, it's going to be one of those.
It'll be one of those. So, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to briefly explain what just happened in the attacker ban phase. There are 2 operators currently available to competitive play that can deal with things like bandit batteries, mute jammers, and Kayid electroclaws on the other side of walls, other than doing it through the soft destruction method, which is to say, you know, Buck, Sledge, Zofia, Ash, etc., who can, you know, get like batteries from below or above, depending on the situation. But other than those operators, there are 2 in comp play that can directly confront a bandit battery or a mute jammer or a Kayid electroclaw from the other side of the wall. That is Maverick and Thatcher. There is a 3rd that has been added to the game, as I'm sure you all know, Kali, who can do this, but she is not.
You got to settle on how you pronounce her name.
Kali?
Callie.
Callie? We're calling her Callie? Okay. Whatever. To continue my point, Callie is the 3rd operator that is capable of doing this, but she's not available to competitive play yet, as there is a 6-month pause before operators are put straight into comp after they're released. So she won't be out there for a while. And we just saw the 2 that are available banned out, which means on a map where hard destruction is very important, there's probably not going to be a lot to
No. This is mutually assured destruction here with a Mav ban followed up immediately by a Thatcher ban. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way of...
Mutually assured destruction, yes.
Mutually assured destruction, I think is the correct way of putting it.
And we've hit that. It's going to be Library Lounge, which is an uncommon bomb site.
I'm very curious on what's going on today. We saw on Clubhouse, we saw Barstock.
Yeah.
And then we saw a lot of Teller's Archives on Consulate.
Something's in the water. Something's different.
On Coastline, we didn't see a Penthouse Theater, though, so didn't get that one. But
yeah, Penthouse used to be the meta, and if you play rank, you might be wondering what we're talking about, because it is still very relevant in like gold, ELO, and ranked. Penthouse is...
Whoa. Gold is way above the skill of the average Redditor.
Come on, leave him alone.
I am an average Redditor. I am included in that.
Are you? What rank are you, Parker?
Just below Plat 1 right now. High Plat 2.
Oh, nice. That's progress, isn't it? Because...
What are you trying to say?
No, that's progress. That's good. No, that's good. I mean, I'm only like Plat 1. I haven't even hit Diamond this season, to be honest. It's been a rough season. Anyway, so far, we've seen a basement clear from Liquid. And I say clear. There wasn't anyone down there on MIBR side. They're just using the free ground that is the basement to try and establish control so that they can clear out the roamers that are on the middle floor. That'll be Navi's and Memorial. He's in a corner now and stuck. He'll not be able to get out unless he gets the kill, but he hits the headshot onto Nesk, and he's managed to rotate to the other side of the door. The phone call is going to give away his position, so he should die to the second follow-up, but oh no, some missed shots here from PSK, and there's backup now for the defender. But no refrag. Meanwhile, off-screen, there's a lot happening, and we didn't catch it. Can't say what happened other than Liquid is only one player, and his name is PSK with just over 25 HP.
That went from bad to worse very quickly. Nesk losing a fight to an MPX. Almost 2 for PSK. He gets down. He's going to need to withstand, but yeah, he's not going to.
Do they know? They might not know.
I don't know if they downed him. He's going to get up because this is a mechanic that is unique to Zofia.
I don't think they know that they downed him, which is going to give PSK a chance. Again, no point notifications for these players in competitive.
He's back up, and he gets spotted. MIBR will take the round.
Okay, so that's what we expect. Oh! Thank you, Cyber. That's very nice of you.
What did he say?
I said, thank you, Cyber. That's very nice of you. He's using my charm.
Oh.
Yeah. It's always cool to see.
It's an honor, eh?
Yeah, it really is.
It's an honor. Bolo, did you know that Bolo was using your
Really? No, I did not know that.
Bolo was using your charm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was watching him play in the lab. When I casted him in North America, I didn't see it, so I didn't know that. Was it the first play day or something? Because I did the second. Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Bolo.
I really hope people appreciated it, because it totally flew over your head when I said I'm like an anime character. I'm 90% legs. It didn't even register with you, and I think that's one of the most clever things I've ever said in a broadcast.
Anime character, 90% legs. It depends on the anime, right?
Every anime, it's like the characters' like legs go up to their armpits.
You know what? I think there's one that
that's like arms and then a face.
Cowboy Bebop does that a lot. I think. It's been a long time since I watched it, but yeah. Anyway.
I thought it was a very funny joke. I think it's one of the most clever things I've said.
Ever?
I feel like we have a person who works at Ubisoft named Stuart, who I think is a master of obscure references and puns, and I really hope he appreciates that one. I feel like he would like that reference.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure he's watching right now, right?
I have no idea what he's doing. I'm not his boss. I'm not his mom. Here are your stats for Villa. Liquid is banned it 9 times. My best Edward R. Rooney impression from Ferris.
9 times.
9 times.
9.
1 win and 2 losses. MIBR is the better record. 3 wins, 2 losses, 3 bans. They are well suited for this map.
Are we going to see everyone who isn't supposed to win today except for Nip?
I mean, MIBR versus Liquid is really close. I don't think there's a should or shouldn't win here.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that enough, to be honest. When the community vote came up, there was a little bit too one-sided towards Liquid. Yeah. They got, what, like a 71% or something along those lines? That's too much, guys. Give MIBR some credit. But it's still, I think the community vote does reflect this, that Liquid is the team that people expect to win at the very least. Though, again, early in the season, so it's hard to say. I'm sorry I didn't get your reference, Parker.
I mean, there wasn't even a reference. It was just...
your joke?
It was a joke, you know, and it was very underappreciated, I'll be honest with you.
I'm sorry that I make you feel that way.
That's okay. Unorthodox to see MIBR start on the basement level, or, well, technically not the basement, I guess. I've been spending too much time in Europe, man. First floor, ground floor, whatever you want to call it. A library defense first for MIBR works out very well. I think there was only 1 kill, 2 kills, I think, from Liquid. That was it. PSK at the end was able to get 2 picks, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use the top, bottom, mid system, because everyone says the different numbers. Should try it.
Thanks, I will.
Okay. Oh, right. IQ gathering a lot of information in the electronics here. Top floor being controlled by Liquid, but not what they need, which is Statuary Master. Drone goes into Statuary, marks the player by the statue. That is Cyber. Nade's getting prepped there, and there it goes. Cyber eats some damage, but not enough to get the kill. Nesk is going to have to peek him. I don't know when it's going to happen. C4 is going in, Nade's going in. There's the peek. Nesk lands the headshot. Cyber eliminated. MIBR have lost control of Statuary, but they haven't lost control of the entirety of the top floor. As Bullet re-peeks into Statuary, he also loses his life, but this time to PSK. Team Liquid now secure in their control above. There are C4s from below, so potentially there could be some punishment dished out here from MIBR, but C4 number 1 misses. C4 number 2, I believe, has already missed, but I don't know if Navi still has one. It might have been M-King who just missed his just now. What we do know is Liquid are in the driver's seat.
Navi's did toss up a C4, did not connect with anybody. There goes the logic bomb, and Liquid are in full control. They've got a chokehold over MIBR and a 5v2, which is the opposite of what we saw in round number 1, which was Liquid struggling to land their shots, with the exception of PSK. I could have said it was a bad start here, and could be a bad omen for Team Liquid if they, usually good gunners, aren't able to hit their shots. M-King will lose a volcanic shield in front of him, and he'll head for the hills, trying to find some coverage that he and Hugzord will just magically conjure up. Are we about to see a flawless round? Yeah. M-King needs 1 kill. Nope, no flawless round. Takes the head right off of Palu. Lands another. Down goes Nesk, but traded off. Liquid was there for the refrag, tied up at 1 apiece. Kitchen not successful for MIBR.
Yeah, it's been Kitchen Lounge for MIBR. They're going to the weird sites today. But then again, if you can win the weird sites, when you have to go to the normal sites, you have an advantage. And they managed to win Lounge at the very least. So this is not over for MIBR despite losing that last round. Some respect being paid from M-King. Got to appreciate that sportsmanship. Apparently a nice shot being landed. Possibly one off screen. What we do know is that nice and even here. Liquid looked a little shaky in the first round. That second round was much cleaner, though. Gotta say, much better for Liquid. They were a little hesitant a few moments there, especially Cyber playing in Statuary, but the caution paid off. The utility dump was worth it, and Liquid put themselves in a great spot after that win. And they state to the world that they are not going to get reverse sweeped here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You're right. I was right.
Yep. It's 1E, not 2.
I'm surprised Thatcher's all the way down at 37%, actually. I would expect it to be much higher for this region.
Yeah, maybe.
We do tend to see more flexibility
in
attacking bans.
Or is it map?
That's actually a good question.
We don't know.
That's a good question. Is it map? Is it regional? Is it this season?
Is it the teams?
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
It's Superman.
Yeah, that's actually a clarification that would be exceedingly
greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
I'll ask.
Maybe that's our bad, but I don't think it is.
Yeah. So first primary bomb site being played.
But no, I was going to say that when you look at a 37% for Thatcher, you might think, oh, that's quite low, which is something that I initially thought, but then I realized, oh, wait a minute, there's a lot of attackers that get banned. Defenders have less flexibility in what they ban.
Yeah.
Your defending bans are going to be very lopsided towards Mira, Echo, Maestro, Valkyrie. Of which 2 of them are banned right now. It's just to further extend the point. So, yeah, Intel is going to dominate most of it. So, the attackers can ban Capital. We've seen Nomad bans, we've seen Thatcher bans, Maverick bans, Thermite bans, Buck bans, Lion bans, IQ bans.
Lots of different
That's
bans.
just today, by the way.
Bans.
Yeah. No Nomad banned today, but everything else was banned today. So there you have it.
Nomad's seen a lot of play because of that, by the way. Shiafta is banned. And having her in play is very powerful for the attacking side in terms of cutting off rotation.
Just to confirm with you, those bans that you see are for the entire region for Season 10. So last season in Latin America, Thatcher was banned 37% of the time, Mira was banned 51% of the time. That's
there you go.
In Latin America for all of Season 10. It's not map dependent, and it's only for the region. It's not broken down by the actual all of Pro League. Yeah. Because I would imagine Thatcher's ban in EU is much lower than that. Opening pick to PSK. He has been on a tear so far. If he continues to play this way, well, Liquid's going to have another gunner at their disposal. PSK is not usually the person who's getting the opening picks for Liquid.
Yeah, he's been doing really well here, and M-King as an operator to get rid of early on is definitely beneficial to the attack. He's not going to be able to move those Evil Eyes, as we always like to mention. So Maestro is usually one of the worst operators to lose early. Navi's still roaming downstairs. He'll need to be dealt with before the attack can hit the site. The Dokkaebi phone call coming out here is going to give away the position of Navi's, as Palu has to have heard that. It's possible he thinks he's... Oh, Palu thinks it's someone behind him, downstairs. The sound is wrong on the read there for Palu. But he might hear the player in the red hallway now. No, he's just ignoring Navi's and walking past him into Astro. And somehow, he manages to get away with that with his live. Palu, a misread, but then too much hesitation on Navi's, and nothing will come of that tension. They both disengage. MIBR now trying to hold on to Aviator. This is going to be the real challenge. Evil Eye's not going to be able to zap, which means the C4s and the gas canisters are really the denial pieces for MIBR.
And those denial pieces will be exceptional with 30 seconds left and 2 toxic canisters. You'll have full coverage, which is what you need. Still 90 being held by Liquid. They are just waiting for the call here. PSK walks into the gunfire of Navi's. Down he goes. MIBR equalizes, but still, tick-tock on that clock. You're about to hit 15 seconds. You got to go, Liquid. Priming a frag grenade, ready to rush on in. There goes a toxic canister, and Sexy Cake's going to take some damage, but he just charges right through. Not full coverage as he's getting the plant down. Maring is watching. Outswings the Bandit. 2 for Liquid. Their guns come alive. Hugsword is down as well. Cyber in a 1v4. Make that a 1v3. Doesn't look the right way. Diffuser down for Team Liquid. An excellent positioning for them in the post plant. Liquid will take their second round in a row. 2-1.
The star of the show there has to be the angle play from Team Liquid. The Valkyrie inside of Study could have salvaged that round by C4ing the default plant spot. The gas canisters, yeah, okay, so the smoke missed. He did not manage to deny the plant. It's hard to do that denial, though, behind the vault. What you can do, I believe, is clip it through the wall if you're playing in gun vault.
I don't think smokes clip through the wall anymore.
They do.
Do they still?
Yeah, I was playing like 2 days ago, and I started breathing smoke through wall. They said they fixed it. They didn't. But yeah, so you can, I'm pretty sure you can, maybe they fix it on some specific places, like maybe there, but yeah, they definitely do. It's just less consistent, I would imagine. I don't know. Anyway, what I do know is that it's hard to land a smoke behind the vault door. It's hard to get that exact spot right. And in this case, MIBR messed it up. They'll go back to Aviator, though. They're going to try it again. They clearly don't want to go to Trophy as long as they can avoid it. And we'll see if the smokes land a little bit better this time.
It's unfortunate that it was just a little bit
Yeah.
too different, too far, because if it had been thrown differently, Liquid would have had to scramble to plant elsewhere, and then it really would have been a brawl instead of being mowed down as MIBR was.
The big thing, again, as Sexy Cake started the plant, the angle coverage from Liquid was just 10 out of 10. They were accounting for Study Door. They were accounting for the rush. They even had their flank locked up. That's what you need to see when you're going for a plant like that.
Yeah, I gotta say, very impressed with Liquid in the post plant there, and that's the kind of thing that Liquid does very, very effectively. We've seen this time and time again against top levels of competition, is that Liquid is able to contain and lock down an area and punish anybody who tries to contest them. Cyber's got your charm on, as you noted.
He's what?
Cyber's got your charm on, as you noted.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool, man.
It is pretty cool. Thank you. We saw Final Line was running it too, and then
Bolo?
And Bolo, yeah. I didn't see that one, but that's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you know.
I'm still waiting for your charm. Got to get you a charm. Then everybody can run it. Got to make that a thing. When your charm is a thing, then we have like everybody run it. That's got to be a thing, right?
It's got to be a thing.
I hope that you get one.
I appreciate that. I don't think I will, but I'm...
You should.
Well, thank you. Hopefully Ubisoft is listening.
Yes.
See, maybe instead of giving me a charm, they'll give me an invite to the Invitational. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. Maybe it's my team.
Are you getting the invite spot, Parker?
I mean, I can't confirm or deny, but...
Oh. Then it's something for you guys to think about.
Yeah. That's going to fester. Entry from Liquid, by the way. Or entry from, Liquid has been all on that main floor. Or all on the second floor, rather. I have the colors mixed up. Hold on, let me get my brain swapped around.
Turn on color correction.
I was looking at the defenders and I was like, what?
Yeah. Sometimes it can be confusing, especially at LAN when they switch it up.
I mean, at least Liquid's blue. That's really nice.
It is. It's very clean.
It's going to be yet again another Aviator Games defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Liquid is very, very close.
Pretty much the same.
Tantalizingly close.
Same attack too.
Taste it.
Yeah.
Basically the same.
Oh, the Evilizer in play now. That's big.
That is a change.
Yeah. If the Meister not getting picked off at the beginning of the round, he's going to be able to actually deny the play this time. As we hit the last 50 seconds, there's an extra piece of denial in play for MIBR.
I think this is going to fall on the shoulders of Nesk trying to locate where the Valkyrie cameras and the Evil Eye cams are so that the destructive work from Liquid can go in, but also so that when they go to push on in, that they're not as exposed to it. Sexy Cake is inside of that connector waiting to go on in and get the call to plant. He's on Buck. Interesting operator to get that accomplished on. No hard breacher here for Liquid either on an Aviator Games is very peculiar. I know that's Mav and Thatcher band, so they're just going to play around that. And he's got the diffuser in hand, but he's also going to get the opening pick. Liquid 3 in a row for that. Good as gold. Frag grenade ready for Sexy Cake to toss on in. It will connect. It'll blow up a piece of the floor. Nobody from MIBR takes that damage at all. There's another for them as Nest guns down M King. Hugswood trades that off onto Moringa. Sexy Cake very low on HP. He's taken out by the Nitro Cell. Nesk is there, and it's a 3v1. Bullet prone inside a study, and he loses the fight to Nesk. Nesk is going to keep hitting those shots. You're going to be hard-pressed to make up any ground against Liquid. He started off slow, but the man has come alive. Goodbye to the Bandit. 3 in a row for Team Liquid now. They don't need to get that diffuser down at all.
It should be noted that Nesk's season so far has not been ideal. But that round right there, and the rounds he's had so far through this match, that's the old Nesk. That's what people expect. He needs to have those moments where he comes alive so that Liquid can play around him. The thing that was happening there that made Liquid be so successful is that MIBR were scrambling to deny plant. The plant location was different, and while MIBR scrambled to deny said plant, they were exposing themselves to Nesk, who cleaned them up. And then at that point, yeah, the plant was denied, but there was plenty of time for Nesk to get the last few kills and win the match
Defenders protect
overall.
bombs from being
Of course,
defused
I don't know why I said match, but round? Maybe it's because I was thinking that Liquid's starting to angle themselves to win this match. If I'm being honest, right now, this is what's going through my head. Right now, we've got a Thatcher and a Maverick ban, and Liquid's up 3-1 on
And they're not running hard breachers.
They're not running hard. Well, I mean, they're not needing hard breachers. And why would you run hard breachers when you're not going to be able to hard breach anything, right?
Well, I mean, you've got the Buck, you've got the Zofia, and you've got an IQ, which means that you can play underneath if you really need to.
It's so much time, though. And, like, they've been just doing contact takes through bottlenecks in these rounds, and they're coming down to the dying seconds of the rounds.
And they're winning it, but a big part of why they're winning it as well is MIBR is peeking into it. And when you're looking at an Aviator Games defense, we saw 2 of those in a row, right? MIBR has to peak because of how small those sites are. And when you push in, if you can open up the walls, or if you have any kind of disabling gadgets, if there's a Thatcher on the board, and EMP works wonders here. Zofia works wonders here. Capitao can work wonders here. You have to take those engagements. MIBR is losing them. They went from the first round of being able to win almost every single heads-up gunfight to losing every single heads-up gunfight, basically.
Yeah, and now we're going back to Lounge, which was the first site defended the first round. And
you are absolutely correct.
Yeah. And MIBR are hoping that they'll have the same luck here that they did the first time around. We'll see. Navi spotted out, spray through the window to try and nab Navi's, but it's not going to happen. As he persists by kitchen, he'll be a definite slowing factor here for Team Liquid on their take. Some early damage dished out to Cyber. Only 1 bullet, and it looked like it might have been through a door frame considering how little damage he took. And he'll run away. But this roamer's still persisting. Not in Statuary anymore, but still in the top 4. Lots of information being called out here from Nesk. He's going to be able to get a lot of those electronics before they even become relevant. That's a really good play there from Nesk if he can actually do that without getting punished. He's waiting for Palu to drone him into Trophy, though, and since that drone just came out, they will know that there is a player. I believe by 90 is where it was. Yes, Bullet. And he'll be able to slow down this attack further, but PSK coming around to try and pincer this player. Possibly from Repel, could just go in through the building. Come up main stairs, maybe.
I like the coverage that we see from Liquid above. They need to figure out where M King is going to go, but they need to start doing soft destruction as well to really put pressure on MIBR on site, because right now the people inside are sitting very pretty. I suspect it's going to come out pretty soon, though, as Moringa uses a logic bomb, and then we'll end up pursuing one of the fleeing members of MIBR. That's Navi's downstairs, and slowly but surely the phone call will get louder and louder.
This engagement is just waiting to happen. But the thing that I want to note is that Liquid, when clearing onto this site, they have to hunt the roamers because they don't have a clear idea of what the point of contact attack strategy would be, like they do with Aviator. That's what's making this so confusing for Liquid, and it's what's going to waste so much time.
Navi's will win that engagement if you see the Dokkaebi push on down, because Moringa is just not going to be able to hit the shot needed. Oh my, get baited, Bullet. There goes the air jab, but Paulo secures the kill regardless. That's a worthwhile trade. Navi swings on up and loses it. No, I thought Navi's was going to take that. Moringa is just better in that fight. And there's another from Nesk. He is just killing everybody in front of him. Cyber in a 1v5, a flawless round on the docket for Liquid as the diffuser goes down. They are walloping MIBR. And as you pointed out, on attack, a Mav ban, a Thatcher ban. The IQ of Nesk looks the wrong way, but Cyber gives his position away. He might not be long for this Earth. He's going to have to go through a single doorway. There's no rotate available for him. Or is there? No, there is. A rotate created, but it will be right into the sights of all the members of Team Liquid that are waiting ever so patiently. Cyber twists around, fires towards the couch. I think he sees one. Oh, he takes out Sexy Cake. Next in line, the diffuser's far away. He'll have to encroach it as best as he can. Down on the ground with Cyber. He picks him off. Rusting on in, but it's behind. He doesn't see the Palu comes on in. And what was a valiant effort? A good try. An NT for those gamers in chat. Ends up being a Liquid lockout. 4-1 they lead, and they are dominating MIBR.
That's a solid effort from Cyber. It's a good job. But not enough. Big part of that was the fact that somehow those roamers for MIBR got almost nothing done. And I'm a little bit surprised, because we were coming up to the end of that round. The roamers didn't even need to engage. They could have just waited it out. They could have just lingered, and things would be fine for MIBR. They would have denied the attack onto the site, the plant outright. But instead, those roamers decided to engage, and every single engagement went the way of Liquid. Every one of them. There was no chance for recovery at that point. I was trying to say earlier in the round, and I got this out, Liquid are going to struggle on Lounge because they have no clear understanding of what the point of contact strategy is going to be. What I mean by that is they're trying to find the shortest and most effective and least flankable route to the site so that they can plant the diffuser. That is what Liquid has been doing continuously round by round. Lounge was really difficult because they weren't really sure what it was the first time. They seemed to have figured it out this time, but it took them a lot longer than I think would have been comfortable. The reason why this is made even worse for Liquid is because the roamers from MIBR. Again, if those roamers had just existed for longer instead of trying to get into fights and losing them, then MIBR probably would have taken that round, and we'd be in a much different situation. But right now, 4-1, Liquid are slotted to win this, and we're not even done with the first half.
MIBR banned Mav, and then Liquid banned Thatcher, and I want your thoughts on this. Why do you go to library and kitchen over and over again? Now they've gone to Aviator 3 times. You're not trying sites like Trophy Statuary. My gut check on a Mav and Thatcher ban is that Aviator Games and Trophy Statuary, which are already two very strong sites, get even stronger without a Mav and a Thatcher. So why are you, if you're MIBR, so hesitant?
To be honest, I'm kind of agreeing with you here in my head, because
I love them.
The thing is, even when they were going to Lounge, they were opening up a lot of those angles instead of leaving them like hard reinforced, putting bandit batteries on them and such. So I'm not 100% sure. There's got to be a logic to it. MIBR is a smart team. They have reasoning for their decision making on these sorts of things. But I can't say what it is. What I will say is that I definitely wholeheartedly agree with the thought process for Liquid. Yeah, it's working for them. But the big thing is, if you're not going to be allowed to hard destruct anything, sure, don't bring a hard destructor. Play off the bottlenecks. Play off your better fragging potential, because that's what Liquid's leveraging right now. The probing and hunting the roamers, it's working for them. Then they're playing point of contact on the site, and that's working for them even better. The logic with the bans is actually kind of been thrown out the window, to be honest. I think that they've just cut out a part of the game, and they're ignoring it. Both teams. Because we're noticing not even a bandit is being played, it's just a mute. And that could be dealt with a lot easier than a bandit or a Kaid.
Well, I mean, they don't need the bandit if Liquid's not bringing a hard...
Right, totally fair. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to express is that for both teams, they have just yoinked out the whole hard destruction part of the game, and they're just playing as if it doesn't exist. That's what it seems.
It is a very odd way to watch Villa.
It is, especially for this map.
Very odd to watch Villa, yeah. A very defender-sided matchup in which you see a Maverick and a Thatcher band would suggest that this will be even greater defender-sided. And that's just not it. That's not what she wrote right now. So.
Well, this is a pretty good setup right now for MIBR, as we hit the last 50 seconds. They have C4 to deny from below. That's going to be Navi's. Yep. They have plenty of denial in the site as well with other C4s and smokes. So this is a really good spot for MIBR to find themselves in. Liquid's going to have a tough time on this one. We might end this half 4-2 just because of the setup.
And we get to see that Liquid is doing more than what they need to for drone work here. Navi's a beautiful shot. He doesn't lose that one to Moringa. 2 from MIBR as they add to that tally and tack on yet another. Liquid in rough spot.
Ooh.
Beautiful shot from PSK as he gets Cyber on a platter.
So little time, though.
Only 15 seconds left. It doesn't seem like there's any real urgency. Bullet guns down Nesk. Sexy Cake is in the smoke. He's taking so much damage. PSK goes in. Navi's is below. There goes the C4 to take out PSK. Sexy Cake will have to go for frags as there's no way he's going to be able to get that diffuser down. And no way he's even going to be able to get a kill either. Right you were. Look like we end the half 4-2. You're a prophet, Michael. MIBR takes that round. And we'll swap sides with Liquid now going on to defense.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, it took MIBR 3 different defenses on that site to figure out how to defend it. So, yeah, okay, they salvaged 1 round, but 4-2, attacking half, that is a clear-cut win, not only because obviously Liquid has more rounds, but also more just because of the nature of these bans on this map. So Liquid should be in a strong advantage right now going into the second half. They're going to bring Kaid to deny the Thermite. That's the maximum amount of coverage, and I'd say Kaid in this scenario is the hardest operator to deal with in terms of hard destruction denial. So this is a really comfortable spot for Liquid, and they should be pretty well established on this site, I'd say. And the curious thing about this, the reason why Kaid's even relevant, is because MIBR are bringing a hard destructor. They've brought a hard destructor, rather. They've brought Thermite. Liquid are opening up inside study to deny the floor exothermic trick. They're not going to let that happen. At least they've opened up one side. Sexy Cake might be responsible for opening the other side. Yeah, it looks like he's coming over to do that now, maybe. Or not. Maybe they
drop some barbed.
They could also just not care as much about the B wall. Whatever the case be, Liquid, I think, based on what I'm seeing just from operator selection, Liquid is still in the driver's seat. I do think that MIBR are going to struggle here because they're trying to lean into hard destruction. And I honestly thought that based on these bans, both teams had just like agreed to, oh yeah, no hard destruction. We can play without it. But clearly, MIBR has not caught on to that one. And they're going to be doing something a little bit different. Maybe it'll work for MIBR. Maybe. I don't know. The volcano's being placed to deny plants in B. Setup's pretty good for Liquid. They just need to wait now.
I mean, it was MIBR who banned the Mavs, so they obviously knew how to play around that with either a Hibana or a Thermite, regardless. Then Liquid bans Thatcher, and I mean, that is something where maybe you as MIBR are not prepared for that. I think the biggest example, and one of the first times we really saw operator bans like that going the distance was, it was Lestream versus Empire in Europe, where, you know, it was a clubhouse matchup. Empire banned a hard breacher, and then Lestream immediately answered by banning one as well, and I think it caught Empire off guard. Nesk was looking for a kill on the front door as he's patrolling Classical Hall. He'll head on back.
This is a really good angle here from Nesk. The extended control from Liquid is risky, but it can outright win you the round if you play it right. Cyber looking for the angle on the players who are playing by 90 in the long hallway. Nade goes out, does no damage to anybody. Now, those nades are really important because there are a lot of volcanoes in this. Of course, 3 Goyo shields that need to be dealt with.
You still have a Zofia, so as long as Bullet can keep those impacts under control, you got a fighting chance against them, but you're absolutely right.
And it looks like there's a lot of lifelines being used, too, by Bullet on the balcony. They're getting bottlenecked here by Palu and Nesk, who are just playing at the top of main. There
goes one of the Zofias, but it's on a deployable shield that doesn't have the Vulcan on the back of it. So that's a major victory for Liquid and could end up proving to be the undoing of MIBR. A minute ago, Bullet's the only one who's taken any damage.
And meanwhile, TikTok, as you said, the attackers are running out of time. They're not going to be able to open up study wall unless those Electroclaws were misplaced. Nice shot there from Navi's. PSK responds, though. So there goes the player who was attempting to take site control, I believe. A little bit too aggressive there. His team was not in a position to back him up.
I think Navi's just sprinted on in, and then
it might
dying.
Be. Yeah.
Hugzord's trying to find a spot to put down an exothermic charge. There's an Electroclaw that's thrown, and oh no, Hugzord looks like he might have lost it. He's got another. He's going to grab the wall that's right next to PSK. It goes off. The impact does not work out at all. And you see the TCSGs try their best to do some significant damage. Well, down goes Palu, or Moringa rather, as the TCSG on his end isn't going to do much. PSK's still got one of his own. He's watching the doorway. If you peek him, you will likely die. That thing will flatten you like a pancake. And although he misses, though, he looks away at the wrong time. 2 kills for Bullet, 1 for Nesk, 1 for Sexy Cake. It's a 1v2. Sexy Cake is playing behind the shield. He'll toss out a canister. This is going to tick away at M-King. Will he get it down in time? Yes, he will. He gets felled, taken out. It's Bullet in a 1v1. Former member of Team Liquid, mind you. Sexy Cake has time at his side. He gets hit by an air jab, though. That's information for Bullet, knowing that he's playing over by the plains. Sexy Cake will need to hit a pre-fire here on the Bullet. He knows he's locked inside of the vault. Sexy Cake with the clutch. There's something about Villa where Sexy Cake is just able to do great work. He's going to get battered around, but no real worries. Plenty of time, and even though the MIBR diffuser plant was so successful, their coverage was not. Sexy Cake with 2 kills to save the round for his team. The man's inhuman.
So a couple things to note there. One, yes, it was a win for Liquid, but it was very close. Could have easily been MIBR. Sexy Cake pulled it out when it really needed it. 2, the hard destruction worked, surprisingly.
Yeah.
The Electroclaw play was not tier 1, I would say. It could have been a little bit better. I believe one of those Electroclaws got destroyed by a nade or something along those lines. But what we did see was the wall get opened up, really important. Hard destruction for the first time in this match, actually. Really interesting to see that with the bans that we have brought out. And that could have been enough for MIBR to take it, especially after they got the entry right after the wall was opened up. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. Liquid had a pretty good setup. Their extended hold was almost working out for them. The one big thing that I'll note here is Liquid were applying a lot of pressure to Study, trying to deny that push outright. And they failed to do so. They had 2 people at the top of main and one person peeking the B bomb site to Study door, and they got 1 kill out of that. And I think they lost a few players too in that exchange. So Liquid actually were putting themselves at a little bit of a disadvantage with the extended roam. I said it when I saw it. It was a bit of a risk from them, but I guess it worked. It just, I don't think it paid off. The roam did not pay off. Sexy just clutched up. So. And interestingly, I'll note this too. Sexy, that was 3 rounds for him, 3 kills for him in that round. He has 4 kills in this match. So, impact frags.
Very impactful.
Yes. Right moment, right time.
It's been PSK, it's been Nesk, and it's been Sexy Cake who have been winning the rounds for their team. Not that Moringa and Palu haven't been contributing. But I can name 3 rounds in particular where those gentlemen were the sole reason why they were as successful as they were, and the W can be credited to them.
5-2 right now, and that's the crucial bit. It could be a 4-3 easily, but now Team Liquid are starting to run away with it.
And the thing worth noting as well is that that was very nearly another attacking victory. Another attacking victory. We don't hear that often on Villa, especially, as we said, not when you look at the operators that are banned. You don't really expect that at all.
It was,
I said it was a defender victory. I said it was very nearly an attacking victory.
Oh, okay, I got a little confused.
Very nearly an attacking victory, which is so unusual. I mean,
yeah.
I would need to see recent stats, because I feel like there are a number of games that we do cast where Villa does actually seem to go not for the attackers, but not as defender side as it used to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see those statistics for just like this season, you know.
Yeah.
What we do know in this round so far is that MIBR are doing a pretty good job with the roam clear. They've got great information in the site. Cyber's just going to call out the player inside of Trophy. And Amaru, of course, very interesting.
That's not something you see every day.
Yeah, it really isn't. Cyber bringing it out. He's going to be able to get a hook into Astro, as I'm guessing was going to be his main target. If you can come into Astro when the defender's not expecting it from the window, then you might be able to catch a few people off guard. Navi's has a drone for this, actually. He might be able to call the Goyo, who's speaking from Connector. But that call will be now that actually he's in Astro.
I think these are 2 G8s that are in the hands. He just rappelled on up.
Does that work through the skylight? There's no way it does, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't really play Amara. I don't know her. Oh, it's a commando, not a G8. Okay.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out. Weird that you would use the SMG to open that when you've got the LMG. But I mean, hey, you know what? It reloads faster.
Yep, that's true.
Slightly.
The G8 is not a quick and nimble weapon, even with the angled grip on it. 45 seconds in the execute from MIBR is just moments away. Nobody has taken any damage. There you go. Just as I say that, 1 volcanic shield gets taken out, so does PSK, and MIBR are just going to attempt to plant in the middle of the doorway. But from below, there's Nesk with 2 kills. Third, as he peeks around, Nesk doesn't land it. He loses to Cyber. M-King falls to Sexy Cake. Navi's dispatches Moringa. Paulo inside a bathroom has not been spotted. He and Sexy Cake will need to clutch up. The two Italian operators on the Italian map, can they do this? We'll call it the Italian job.
Seconds left.
Sexy Cake holding that angle with the ult in hand. Down goes Navi's.
10 seconds remaining.
Easy frag.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
Diffuser picked up, and Cyber will need to go for kills as he will be extremely vulnerable. Gives his position away, and he'll swing on to Sexy Cake, who wins the fight. Yell does better. 6-2 for Team Liquid. What a romp so far. They're making quick work of MIBR.
And still a lot of respect paid in this match for both teams. Gotta love that. Good sportsmanship.
Yep.
It looks like Liquid is going to walk away with this one in a breeze. I think this was a match that a lot of people expected would be one of the closest of the day.
I very much did not expect it to be this much of a blowout.
And so far it has been the least, or the least close, I guess, the most one-sided. It is, I mean, Liquid could win it right now, and we move on. Only 2 rounds for MIBR thus far. It's looked pretty sketchy for them. That one was that round was pretty close. I thought for a second there that Nesk was not going to get the player on the plant, but he had the nice angle to deny that doorway being utilized by MIBR, and he got not only that planter, but also the attacker sent to hunt Nesk down. One thing I really want to highlight, actually, is that the hunter downstairs, who was supposed to deny Nesk's position to allow for the plant, entered after the plant was attempted, and even after the planter was killed, allowing Nesk to get that second kill. If you enter as the hunter before the plant is attempted, Nesk might kill you, but you might kill him. It depends on, again, the heads-up engagement. If you enter during the plant attempt, then Nesk might kill the initial planter, but then you get the refrag almost 100% of the time. But if you enter after, then you give Nesk a chance to get both, and that's exactly what he did. So, poor timing from MIBR. And now they find themselves on match point. That was, of course, not the only factor. Really, Liquiders were well set up to deny that plant. They even had master control because no one from MIBR were even trying for master control, which is weird. And that allowed them to hold statuary extended, or Liquid to hold statuary extended. So,
no way.
I wonder, are they going to go for a run out here?
100%.
It looks like they're set up for it. Nesk wants it. Liquid can smell blood in the water, and they are hungry. There it is.
Oh, goodbye.
Body shots at that range with the MPX. He had to have landed at least 5-6 shots.
It's your only hard breacher. You're down a man.
It's match point.
Is that the nail in the coffin of MIBR?
I think so. And fitting that it would be Nesk to hammer that home.
I mean, there's still opportunity here for you to dig yourself out of this if you're MIBR, but man, that is a deflating loss to have the first 30 seconds of the round.
When you're a team in that situation, I think deflating is the perfect word to use to describe how you're going to be feeling, because MIBR, I'm sure we're holding on to the hopes, but after that kill, they're going to be... There's a silent groan that goes out across the board for all the players. They go, ugh.
Maybe not even groan, just silence.
Well, that's what it's silent groan. Yeah, they're not going to be saying it to their team because they're professionals, but everyone's going to be thinking, oh, wow, really? You like that? Like that?
I think one more pick here is going to seal the deal for Team Liquid if they're able to get it. You both have Nesk and Palu roaming downstairs. They haven't been spotted. They will trade out. Palu sees the drone. They're just going to go back and forth.
Oh, here's the engagement, and there's the second for Nesk, and that should be it. A third for Nesk. He's just going to keep surprising us. Impressive. Oh, fourth through the wall! Nesk is insane, and he only needs one more for the ace. The question is, will we be able to get it, or is M-King going to walk into another Liquid player?
You know, I've had relationships less one-sided than this, Michael. M-King's not going to do anything. He gets taken out by Palu. Flawless round for Liquid. They put an exclamation mark and a stamp on it. 3 big points. Liquid will be tied up at the top of the standings in Latin America after 3 days. Congratulations to them. That was one hell of a performance.
So, we have, in the Latin American region now, 4 teams with 6 points, 2 with 4 points, 2 with 3 points, or rather 1 with 3 points, and 1 with 0. And we'll get to that when we actually go to the standings. But what we do know about that match is it was the most one-sided match of the evening.
Oh.
And that surprised many.
Funny enough that you say this, because before we got into the matchup today, we were talking about how unexpected things were.